Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. So let's talk about Warhammer 2 in general and the Chaos Invasion. There are a lot of different playable factions in the Warhammer series, loads of them littered around the Warhammer fantasy world, so you can pretty much start anywhere and everywhere and, you know, just go about your business and wreak havoc. Now, the game did have a system implemented when you played as any of the factions that weren't really Chaos, as to bring in an enemy to have a sort of endgame feature, that of the Chaos Invasion. Let's be honest, however, the Chaos Invasion really isn't a proper threat. In fact, it just kinda comes and gets deleted by NPCs. You sometimes don't even see the Chaos Invasion. But there is a rather interesting mod which can change that up quite a bit, and it's available in two parts, so let's check it out. So the mod in question is a Chaos Invasion mod by Mr. Soul, and yes, I know it's turn free at the moment, but I'm using the test version of this mod, which is also active by the way, to just showcase everything about it. What you're seeing on screen itself is actually just the first wave of the Legendary Invasion, and what you can see is what you can expect. The 12 armies at the beginning, plus the one Warherd of Chaos. But then, it's taken a little further. As we move across the map, you'll start to notice there's loads of armies in different locations. Like, for example, a massive amount of armies will spawn where a Karth starts. But then more and more armies will begin to spawn in different locations, like, for example, next to Alith and Nalgarith, then in the southern coast of Ulthuan, linking up right next to Teclis, and obviously spawning in other locations too, such as the Border Princes, and even in parts of southern Araby, and of course right next to where the Chaos Dwarves should really be at this point. So as you can see, loads of armies are spawning in different locations, and it just makes it more of an actual threat. This is of course just the first wave, which in vanilla really doesn't spawn that much, and is normally taken out by the AI without too much of an issue. As I said, there's two versions of the mod, one which is very vanilla, as you will only see vanilla units being used, and there's a second version which will then take it up a notch, adding in different Khorne Gors, Chaos Dwarves, of course even just Bloodletters and so on through all the established mods, which then further fleshes out the splitting of all the different factions, because you're not just fighting Warriors of Chaos, you're fighting Warriors of Khorne, you're fighting Warriors of Tzeentch, Slaanesh and so on, so they will be a lot more thematic with their different types of rosters. The second wave itself will also be massively powerful, further expanding to all the armies in different locations, and obviously, like I said, this is only the test mod, so the invasion is happening between the first 6 turns of your game, though the actual invasion, if you use the standard one, will happen as vanilla intended. But if you want a real challenge, you can start the end times right away with the test mod, which will also be active, and yeah, you can just start fighting against the Tides of Chaos very early on. It will make for a very hard campaign, however, but as you can see with all the changes, loads of Chaos armies are spawning in different locations, which then means that everyone is under attack. I mean, at this point you've already seen Rakarth's Island, and yeah, that was really interesting. The fact is that this now gives a proper Chaos Invasion feel. It's always been promoted when it comes to the Chaos Invasion that this is the end times, and yeah, the vanilla version, not so much of an end times. So with this, you'll start to see enemies spawn everywhere and start attacking different factions all around, which will in turn start causing some, well, chaos. Even if the invasion happens much later into your campaign, it will still start to cause problems to any factions. Even factions that have started to build up very large empires will not be able to start fighting off the enemy in multiple fronts. A great example here is normally, say, Malekith, Morathi, even Queek Headtaker, who normally tends to build up quite a large empire. They will be attacked in multiple areas, and they can't defend from multiple areas. Even with the cash that they may have, it'll still make a bit of an issue here. On screen right now I have a picture of the Mortal Empires map, with all the red dots being where the Chaos armies tend to spawn with this mod, and as you can see, it's, well, covering a lot of different parts of the map, most of which are different locations where you'll normally start to see the AI getting stronger because they're normally unopposed. I'd say this mod is best set with the legendary setting for the invasion. If you still prefer to play normal, very hard or anything, nobody's judging you for that. It's just if you want a proper end times feel, a proper chaos invasion, have that mod with this and just look at everything as it works. I was testing this out myself when I was playing a dwarf campaign, as that's mostly quite isolated and I was fairly far away from most of the chaos forces, but what I did notice is that many factions that would normally start being very powerful were not really doing so well. The map dynamic itself was very, very different. The Order Tide was still trying to form, yet seeing as of course there's a Chaos Invasion coming on from the Chaos Wastes, and then obviously a rather large amount of them spawning around the area of Rakaf, which started making their way down into Bretonnia and then later into the Empire, with then all the others that were very close to Ulf 1 taking into effect too. There was a lot of damage happening and the Forces of Order were struggling to actually keep going. Like I said earlier in the video, there's different types of the mod. If you want a more vanilla approach, that's also going to be linked in the description below, but if you want the one that I've mainly been showing off on the video itself, you're going to need a bunch of submods. These are the ones in question, and those will be linked on the right hand side of the mod page if you're looking for the proper end times one. I'll also be linking the test version of the mod if you want the invasion to start at turn 3 and then finally hit the proper one at turn 5 if you want to be a sadist and want a bit of a challenge. Let me know how your campaign goes now with these new changes, as yeah, I mean the invasion for vanilla just isn't good, so having this option does make it a lot better. At least I found it more enjoyable. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.